Uncle Finster are surrounded by eerie demonic light. Fetid's hand has burned away to a burning stump. Copernicus and one of the horses have lost all of their lower body limbs. And are like just weird fleshy stumps now. And Ugna has all white glowing eyes and no ability to see.
Cool. And Tromlin is
Demonic
just
curses,
gone.
hooray! And everybody has disadvantage on all rolls for the duration. Lucky for you guys, there is no mechanic for stacking disadvantage in D&D.
Yep. Woo!
So your exhaustion at least doesn't also affect you.
We would.
When we hit bottom, we can keep digging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's actually not true. There is a mechanic.
Let's not talk about it.
But it's lame. Basically, it just counters more advantages. So if you give yourself advantage and you have disadvantage, they cancel out.
Right.
But if you have multiple sources of disadvantage, you would need multiple sources of advantage to cancel out, which is not a real significant mechanic, but whatever. It's all good. Besides, I think you're all going to probably take a rest now, because...
Well, that depends. Let's roleplay.
Why don't we pick up and roleplay this situation?
This.
Yeah.
So, if I was going to try and summon a demon, would my exhaustion affect my ability, to contact a, what's the one I have? How do I ask a demon with a ritual for advice?
So you guys make a saving, so your exhaustion only affects ability checks.
Okay.
But you have also got the curse, which affects your saving throws. So your saving throw, saving throw to not go insane when you attempt to contact another plane and get information, would be penalized with disadvantage unless you can manage to counter that with advantage.
Which I don't think I can. And how would I like to be insane and take 66 psychic damage on top of my current...
Yeah, you would also take psychic damage. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, so I was going to ask a demon if they're close enough that we could push on and make it tonight. But if we can't anyway, then I think we kind of have to rest. But
yeah.
I will also remind the chat that they absolutely can continue to cheer you guys on and potentially push you over the point to get another inspiration.
That's true. That would be super helpful.
Just saying.
So, you guys are still here though, right? Tromlin's gone.
Yeah, we will have to find him soon.
Yeah. Where are you?
Okay, everyone else is accounted for. We're going to track down Tromlin, but first, Fetid, can you make a hand out of bugs? Do you have a... Can you
Where's
do that?
Fetid's hand?
That I don't know. In hell, I guess. I'm not sure where my hand went, but it's a problem. I can't use a bow anymore, but I can still do a lot of things that aren't shooting stuff, so I think I'm okay for the time being. This is going to make my life harder in a lot of ways, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Could somebody strap me to filth so that I can...
Why?
settle around?
And is he strong enough to lift you, though?
No, filth is very small.
I've lost my legs. I've lost my shadow and I've lost my legs. My shadow has more of me now than I do.
Hang on. I'm gonna feel around on the ground until I find you, and then I'm going to lift you up and put you on my shoulders.
Perfect. We're Bran and Hodor.
Belt you around my head. And be like, okay.
Perfect. I think I do. All right.
Pull my left ear to go left, pull my right ear to go right.
Perfect.
We're gonna ratatouille this shit.
Yep, Master Blaster.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, this couldn't possibly go wrong.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So through a hilarious comedy of errors ensues, where Copernicus has to attempt to have Ugna echolocate him by by saying, no, over here, until you get close enough that you
Mhm.
can sort of climb up the bottom with your hands till Ugna sort of gets where you are and picks you up. Ugna, when you pick up Copernicus, you can feel that this dull likeness where like there's the upper half and then just a flat undersurface
Oh,
and
that's
no
weird.
additional Copernicus.
That's weird.
Like you ripped him in half or something.
I like it. I'm feeling it at one point, and I grab sort of where his waist should be, and I go, oh, nope. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
And just so that I am aware, mostly for Barb's sake, how much of me is missing?
Is it
Oh,
just the leg zone, or is it the party zone as well?
I would say it's the waist. So yeah, the party zone is also
In hell.
Oh, no.
not there.
Yep.
It's like you're currently. It's imagine that you're submerged in water up to your waist, but the water line is like a hard line that has
Is
been drawn
hell.
on the bottom of your body, and everything else is just missing.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's not the first time your dick has been in hell.
Balls deep
That's
in
the
the
quote of the
infernal.
game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's definitely the quote of the game. Okay, so you've got you managed to wrangle Copernicus into sort of a harness thing configuration. Uncle Finster will come over and help out because he's only really got this "I'm glowing now" issue, and he will help attach Copernicus to the back of your baby Bjorn straps. So you've got Trey in the front and Copernicus in the back, and he can like
My favorite kind of mullet.
see for you and like pull on your ears and
Good.
ratatouille you. Rakakuni.
Rakakuni.
Anybody else got anything? Manere Smurf McGargamel is going to transform back into a human form, and she goes, "Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Oh, oof. We'll just have to make camp. We can't go on like this. We need to find a way to. We need to know what happened to your priest, your healer. We need to do something. Let's get away from this particular evil glen and find a good place to make camp."
Well,
I like
there's
that
an evil Glen
Evil
somewhere?
Glen and
Where?
Good Glen, but they both work at the same
Why
way.
is he so
They
mad at
have those
us?
things.
Yeah, a little guy pops his head out of the stump and like sneers. Yeah, I'm Evil Glenn. He's got a little name tag that says "Hi,
Good.
my name is," and written
Good.
in it says Glenn.
And just the worst
Where
goatee.
the hell is Good Glen?
He's an imp. He starts like
Alright.
just sweeping up, like he's like the curse is done now. He's sweeping up the gem dust and tidying the Evil Glenn. Evil Glenn tidies up his Evil Glenn.
Good.
I reluctantly make camp.
Yeah,
I
well,
prefer the term Evil Glade. And he unplugs the little scented thing. The Evil Glade. All right. Okay.
so let's get out of here and then find somewhere to camp.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you go a little ways away. It doesn't take you too much to find a spot to settle down for the night and rest, or what's left of the night and rest. So that'll be sufficient to get rid of everybody's exhaustion that has one. You
That's
can only
good.
get rid of one point of
something.
exhaustion, but no one has more than one. So
Cool.
So you'll be back down to regular curses. And this is probably a good time while your characters are resting for the second poll
Oh no.
to happen. I
Oh,
believe the
no.
Shadow DM has it locked and
Please
loaded.
don't
So
make our lives even worse.
yes. So let's have the second poll, and you guys can choose
This
what
poll is
additional.
for how many puppies we find.
Yeah.
This is what additional
How much
problems
damage
befall the
they
party.
do to us.
I will remind the audience, as
Heck
always,
puppies.
that the poll will run for 10 minutes. Everybody gets a vote. But please feel free to put additional channel points and whatever you might choose into this vote system. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so
Do
there
we
we
have
go.
cursed dreams?
The votes begin. Yeah, I think you're probably going to have some interesting nighttime activity here. Copernicus will have some interesting. I'm going to go around and we'll talk about everybody's dreams.
Oh, good.
Fetid, you keep having flashes of phantom hand syndrome, but
Yeah.
like
It's
you
like phantom.
feel. So think
It's a
about like
literal phantom.
yeah. Remember you know those like high school or grade school kid haunted houses where they have the thing where you put your hand into and they're like, now it's eyeballs and it's grapes,
Mhm.
you know, and stuff like that. Or you the oh, is audio having trouble? I just saw some. Are we having audio troubles in general, or is it just Paul? Can people in the chat let us know if our audio is functioning
Yeah, our
for them?
levels still look good. On my end, anyway.
Also, keep those votes coming. I definitely I'm only going to take one of these.
Cause us more
That's
pain.
probably good.
Good.
Yeah, sure. It can't be 6,
Yeah,
18, or 100 values. It has to be one of those numbers. So.
Yes.
it looks like it's just a problem on Paul's end.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
Paul.
Sorry, Paul.
All right, keep those votes coming. I got a tie situation here. All right.
Sleepy birds.
While we await
They're so sleepy.
the vote situation. Oh, am I still here?
Yep, can see you.
Okay. No, my I has a big lag on my on the stream, so I wasn't sure if that was my internet generally. So during the night, Fetid, you know those kind of like haunted houses where you stick your hand in the spaghetti and they're like, it's
Mhm.
guts. You stick your hand in the
Yep.
grapes, it's eyeballs. That is kind of happening to you. Like you feel things in your phantom hand that isn't there,
Gross.
but they are not good things.
Good.
Um,
Great.
like you're like, you know, I don't know, some horrendous demon puts its balls in your hand or something, and you know, and then there's like some kind of like burning slime, and it just real awful. You don't want to think about it too hard.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it's entirely dream based or otherwise.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not good.
Delightful.
It's not good. And in addition, you keep getting like you keep hearing the laughter of the demonic, whatever that same noise that you heard when you grabbed the gem. You feel like that particular demon has like some kind of like hold and is generally mocking you with its laughter. Ugna, you keep waking up in horror as you have dreams of like Tromlin calling for you.
Oh no. Oh, that's even worse than I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I
like
thought I was just gonna see hell.
you feel like you don't see anything.
No.
You're still blind, but like you'll hear like Tromlin's voice in the distance, like in pain or like panicked.
I don't sleep much.
And every time you start
Yep.
awake and like thrash around trying to find him and then realize, okay, wait, he's not actually here, maybe?
You guys probably get woken up a couple times as I go like, ugh, Tromlin! Tromlin! And then just have to
Yeah,
settle
it's
back down.
not grand. Keep those votes coming, people. We're halfway through the poll and it's not moving. I want to see more votes. Somebody's got to have some channel points to spend. Let's get some votes. And then Copernicus, your dreams are much more specific.
Oh no.
I'm not going to sleep, but I imagine they come for me anyway.
Yeah, no, they're not dreams per se because you don't sleep. They are visions of old times, and there will be a bit of a conversation. In the vision, you see yourself sitting at a table with Barb back when Barb had a body to speak of, but also Shecky is there, and you're arguing because Barb sees herself as retired and like enjoying retirement with her beau, and Shecky wants the family business to keep going, and in particular to grow in a sense. Like Barb has been pretty satisfied with a pretty small slice of the commerce pie, and there's no reason not to like franchise out and spread to other places, maybe all the places. And Barb has the real, Barb has the controlling share, let's say. I'm going to keep this metaphor going. But Shecky now feels that since Barb's kind of situation has changed, and Barb is like supposedly, let's say, left those shares to her husband, to her widower, but there's maybe a bit of a contesting situation there. And yeah, you have these kind of arguments ongoing through the night with Shecky that maybe are less arguments and more ethereal struggle for shareholding. We'll put it that way. And the real threat will sort of culminate this. I'm trying not to like role play this out because I don't want to necessarily reveal too much that you don't want revealed yet at this stage. But the culmination is basically a threat to let it go to arbitration.
Yikes.
And that arbitration would be a specific gentleman.
Okay.
That you all three of you and Barb and Shecky have connections to.
That's not
If
This
you
all
don't
sounds
come
very
forward
bad.
with some kind of concession, maybe we'll just put it all on that table.
And is this a memory, or is this still like a current conversation in some ways?
Sorry, say again.
And does it still like a memory, or is this still like a current
The
conversation?
vision feels like a memory, like you're remembering. You're just daydreaming this, but as it ends, you're like, no,
That didn't
I
happen.
wasn't just daydreaming this. This is a real threat and a real desire for negotiation on certain issues. And we can talk a bit more explicitly about this later, Peter. Or if you want to, I mean, I'm happy to like delve into this as much as you like. It is a private scene for your character, but there is an audience here, so it's up to you.
I think I will, for now, save it for an off-camera session, or we might bring it back next session.
I mean, the repercussions are definitely going to happen on camera, one way or the other.
Yeah.
We're down to the last few moments here for the poll, so bring them in, folks. Oops, crap. Sorry, I clicked on the thing that I didn't intend to. But that's okay. Keep them coming, keep them coming. You have only moments left to go. And yeah, that's everybody. You don't know what dreams the other cursed members of your group here today have. So yeah, morning comes.
Whew.
Blessed morning.
Indeed.
Hey, maybe my hand grew back in the night.
Oh no.
It's just better.
Yeah, you
Trauma's
wake up
not here, is
feeling
he?
your hand, and you're like, "Hey, it did," but it did.
No. Perni, I gotta tell you, I don't think wherever Trauma is, I don't think it's good.
Okay, well, we should continue with the mission. I imagine that if we can find the children, we can find the best clue we can get to where he is.
Folks, the poll is over, so feel free to head back in to the chat.
Oh, cool.
And thanks
Yay,
everybody
chat.
who voted. Thanks everybody who voted in the poll.
Now that my disadvantage is gone, I could ask demons for advice, but again, I get my disadvantage and more right back if that doesn't go well.
No.
Yeah, you are down though to only a single disadvantage. Well, I guess you wouldn't have had two anyway because it wasn't an ability check, but everyone is now free of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan?
I think we proceed. I think we've got
Yeah.
Fedit's got a gun. I'll bring you an unseen servant, or we can train somebody to reload for you.
Mhm.
But I think I don't think we can go back all the way for like.
What are you going to do with the legless horse?
Blood horse.
Yeah, I think a blood horse. I can make us a wagon to carry more stuff more efficiently, including myself.
You are going to an area like you're going into
Oh.
harder and harder terrain, so a wagon
Right.
isn't going to be very good.
Oh, you know what I can do? I can make a blood elemental to be a full-time reloader for
Nice.
Fetid.
Perfect. Yep. You don't have to just make blood.
Can you make him a blood hand?
Can I make him a blood
Like arm? Like prosthetic?
prosthetic hand for fetid?
Yeah, I mean, I was
And he can
imagining
use
a
his
bit more
bow.
Adam's family. So he can use stuff, but also it can run around for him.
I don't know that it would like you could make a blood prosthetic that functioned like a normal physical prosthetic would.
Okay.
But we've also, like as we were saying before, Fetid can also use his swarm as a mage hand and
Yeah.
kind of have a second hand that way.
Okay, so then I think I'll do animate blood and give you a blood elemental to reload and assist with things.
So you make a little blood elemental as they kill the horse. Fester is all like sad because he's like, what a waste. I'd take the meat and the hide with us, but we don't have time. We gotta go.
Anyone else need any equipment?
So now, at this point, with only one horse remaining, Mickey and McGargamel will continue to ride that horse, but it's now being led through like very slow walking pace through the brush.
I will ride Ugna.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you're riding Ugna. So, Fetid, you're going to need to try and track this this trail some more, but now you're doing it with disadvantage.
Oh boy. Well, let's see what happens.
But you're doing it in daylight, so if anybody
Yeah.
else has any survival, does anyone else have survival as a skill that has actually got a dot in it?
Nope.
I don't, but I can aid through history to counteract the disadvantage, I think.
I was just thinking that wouldn't count it as disadvantage, just give them a +3.
I'll take that because my low roll is still pretty decent.
Okay, so make that history check. Remember, you're making that with disadvantage, but your DC is only 15 and you got a +10, so you still have a good chance.
Well, that was a 2 coming out the gate. Wait, sorry, why do I still have disadvantage?
Sorry?
Because of
Why
the
do I
curse.
still have disadvantage?
We all have
The
disadvantage.
curse gives everyone disadvantage on all rolls plus additional effects.
Yikes.
If you may fail your saving throw. There was no saving throw against that part of the curse. The saving throw only protected. This is a pretty hefty curse.
All right, so then I have,
Sorry about that.
I've handily failed the.
So yeah, you're not really particularly helpful. You're just giving. You're still doing it, but like the advice you're giving is bad, or not particularly useful. You're just telling a story about one time when you remember a wolf following its scent trail. And you're like, I don't know. Actually, you know
Sure.
what? Professor McGargamel can turn into a dog. So she's going to do that and aid with like sniffing, because wolves and dogs get survival as a skill proficiency. So go ahead and make your roll without disadvantage, Jeff.
Okay. That was, I forget what my first roll was, but it was in the double digits. So we're
Ooh,
looking at
nice.
like mid to high 20s, I think.
Okay, so you're able to pick up the trail again,
Mhm.
and continue off as the brush gets denser and denser, and you continue up the trail.
Cool.
It does not take long before it becomes clear that you're not going to be able to bring the second horse through either. At which point, the professor calls like a huddle, like, let's discuss this, turns back into a human form and says, I would send back Mr. Cotter. It's somewhat dangerous out here, but I could send one of the golems with him.
Mm.
But I don't want to simply turn the horse loose in the wilds. And I still have magical spell capacity. If we find that they are of sufficient strength to do this kind of magic, we may not be able to deal with it on our own anyway. And if I send Mr. Cotter, he can potentially return with reinforcements.
That sounds wise.
Mickey protests. Says, no, well, I can handle it, Professor. I'm pretty good. I've been learning so much magic. And she says, no, Mr. Cotter, that's 5 points from Gristlepuff or something. Anyway,
Yeah, good.
he goes, what points? I don't understand.
They don't
And she
matter anyway.
says, it's another franchise. And so he basically gives the magic scrolls and other magic accoutrement, which gets slung on the horse, and he takes more of the supplies, and you are now down to only 3 of the golems, and otherwise you're on foot now. But McGargamel will turn back into a dog to continue with the tracking as you press further and further into the brush. I'm going to get you to make a series now of tracking rolls.
Okay.
No disadvantage, but no advantage.
All right.
McGargamel, sorry, is going to help you as best as possible.
Okay. First one is a 19.
Good.
Second one is a 16.
Yep.
Third is a 26.
Okay, so the 16, at that point, you start to struggle to stay on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
The scent is just getting weak. You're not sure what's going on. You're hoping against hope that someone isn't going to cast a pass without trace
Sure.
on the trail. Now, hopefully there's too many of them for that to work, right? Because there's a whole group of like 12 kids theoretically with them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take you long before you start, like, you're pretty sure you've still got the scent, but you're kind of getting lost. You're kind of getting to a point where you're not entirely sure where, on a map you would be able to point out. You've still got your ranger senses going, but between this curse and everything, you're getting a little bit disconcerted.
Right.
And after a little while, as it gets towards like late in the day, in the second day, and you're getting into some deep valleys now, the hills are rising up into the Blackthorn Mountains, and you're traveling through these deep valleys that all have streams and rivers along the bottom of them. You come into a grotto, where there is just like slick, slimy growth, like moldy, fungusy stuff all down the walls, water pooling in the bottom, green slime everywhere. And the trail goes through this. But of course, the scent gets really hard to follow because it's going through like water and off into this like series of pools in the distance. And you're just starting to go, okay, this is getting hard to follow. But right now there's only kind of one real direction to go. But if these pools and grottos start to spread out at all, it's going to get a lot harder.
Right.
And you're like big on monstrosities and so forth. You are actually, I think, didn't we give you 2 categories? I'm just double checking.
Of
Because
favorite
I
enemy?
thought it was monstrosities and oozes. Yes. So you are immediately aware with those survival rolls.
Yeah.
I'll actually even take your last roll, the 26, that there are some of these walls got gray ooze on them, and there's lots of green slime hanging out here.
Cool.
So you're going to want to take precautions as to the route you take through here, or you're going to end up fighting some stuff. Now, these are favorite enemies of yours, so you know lots about them.
Sure. Still, I feel like we're not in the best shape to do fighting right now, so maybe we avoid that.
I've got my hammer out and I'm using it like a cane to like feel what's in front of me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So as you poke a section of ground ahead of you with your cane, it does a little giggle noise. It goes like and pulls away and rises up into a little blob, like maybe like 1.5 feet across and like 1 foot high. This little blob of gray ooze, and it sort of like opens up at one side so that it's got like a little, almost a face. Like 3 little holes open up and like form like a little smile and a couple little eyes. There's no eyes there. It's an ooze.
I just follow this too.
And it bubbles at you. It goes.
What was that?
A little ooze creature seems to have morphed into a face or something here.
Oh, well, that's not so bad.
Seems friendly, but I would be careful. Fetid, what do you know about this stuff?
That's a good question. What do I know about this stuff? Would that be a nature check?
Yeah. Make me a nature check. You've got disadvantage on it, but go for it. Or make survival, which is also relevant here. Actually, probably more relevant.
Well, that would be a 13 then.
You know this is a young one.
Okay.
And maybe it's like a little playful. You like pick up a stick and throw it, and it kind of like gets a little, like the little mouth hole gets a little smilier, and it slowly, because it's an ooze, crawls after the stick. And
so
then
can I
to crawl back with it.
This, or is it different than a like natural critter?
If you cast Speak with Animals, you can communicate with it, but it's not very, it's like the level of communication would be quite minimal, but you could try.
Okay.
It would be
do that. Maybe it can steer us around some of its bigger siblings.
Yeah, so you cast Speak with Animals, and it basically getting to Speak with Animals means that you're going to communicate it with it like to the level that it was like Lassie.
Yeah.
Like if it was an animal with animal intelligence, you'd be like full on having a conversation. But because it's a slime, you get up to like the talking to a dog.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. Hey, little guy. Can't you? How to phrase this the way a dog would understand? Can you warn us if any of your friends are nearby? I'm gonna take that as a maybe, and we'll just see what happens.
Why don't you roll me an animal handling?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a 26.
Ooh.
Is that with disadvantage?
Oh no, this is gonna be like a 2 or something.
Oh, actually,
no, that's still pretty good. It's still a 12. Could be worse.
I'm just checking people's character sheets. You can get assistance from Ugno was going to get animal handling, but hasn't yet, right?
Haven't yet.
Okay. I'm going to say that the professor can give you assistance with animal handling. And so you... oh, actually, I got a better idea. Copernicus's Arcana for this kind of
Ooh.
weird magical creature will
Alright.
be able to count to give you assistance. So you don't have disadvantage on this roll. So you got your
Cool.
26.
Nice.
So yeah, you're like, find a way, boy, but like in slime talk,
Yeah.
and it delightedly begins to like lead you around a sort of a particular path through the goo. I can reveal that that there was a choice given to the chat to choose what sort of friendly creature or animated creature that you were going to encounter, and they chose
Neat.
a happy glob of slime.
Thank you for the friendly slime chat.
Yay, good.
Finally, something good happened to us.
Now we can slime rancher this.
Yep.
Yeah. So you you rolled pretty good. The slime helps you find a nice way through the grotto. This is where it lives. So like you're kind of like, how do we get through? How do we get through? And it happily. Now you're not making a lot of progress because it's got a moving speed of like 10.
Yeah.
But you're going through in like a particularly safe route. And eventually you get through these deep grottos, and the land rises a bit into the more hilly, dead forest kind of creepy environment between the growing rocky crags of the blackthorns. And when you get into this area, you get past where all the slime is, but the little slime seems to want to continue to hang out with you and follow you for a bit. So it's like going, boo, 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 boo. This is now it's up to you because obviously it does not have a high speed, so you could easily just keep going and leave it behind.
Just put it on your head.
It's small
Yeah, I'm
enough
gonna
you could
wear
just
like a-
put it in a sack.
Put it on the hat stack.
Yep.
That is adorable enough that I am going to rule that you are aware enough of these creatures to like. You're like, oh, if I take this like root and rub it on this particular kind of a hat, it makes an oil that won't dissolve with like because all these slime monsters are like acid damage. But you know how to get around it.
Mhm.
You just excrete enough mucus and then
it's too-
rub it on the
it's too
slime.
cool. Yeah, you just vomit a bunch of mucus onto one of your hats, and then you're like, that makes a perfect layer of protection.
Good.
Yep.
And then you put the slime on it,
Like a hagfish.
and
Pour some mayonnaise out of your jug.
Yep.
Coat your hat in mayonnaise.
And it's delighted. It goes happy little slime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
So you guys,
you like he's the older dog, and a younger puppy just came in and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Mm-hmm.
and so you guys head off deeper and deeper into these woods, and as I said, you're starting to have trouble following the trail, and eventually you're kind of like, not quite lost it completely, but you're struggling. No one has done a pass without trace, but people are taking effort to like hide the trail to the degree that they can, and with your curse, it's becoming harder and harder to follow it. And as you get towards nightfall, you come out of a ridge or over a ridge, and suddenly some of the land falls away, and you can see you're actually pretty high up now along the side of one of these blackthorn mountains. And you realize, Perni, from your previous rolls that you made on this geography and so forth, that you're going towards the Broken Lands. You're moving towards where the undead rove, and these troubles in the east or in the west, sorry, are coming forward. Somebody suggests that the slime's name should be Bob Ross.
Blob
If there a
Ross.
good G on it, make
Clearly
it
Blob Ross.
Blob Ross.
Blobber.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
A happy little slime.
He's happy little slime.
Yeah.
I am entirely in favor of this.
I like it a lot.
So yes, Copernicus, you are aware of this, but no one else is.
Okay, I'll share that info later. From here, things get a little wilder, and there are roaming undead, and it gets a little more dangerous. Not saying we should stop, but I am saying that we should proceed with caution. Would I be able to spend a hero point to absorb Fetid's curse
Ooh.
so to
Interesting.
get our tracker back? So I'll lose
Well-
a hand, and I don't know if I have stack advantage, disadvantage or not, or if I just lose the hand as well.
I'll say hang on to your hero point for the moment, because that's
Okay.
not really necessarily going to be needed. I don't know. I don't want you to waste a hero point on it. I'll just say.
Okay. Yeah.
You can like. Are you thinking of like? No, we'll just say no for now
Okay.
for reasons.
All right.
Reasons.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
this is good
Which
training.
one?
I haven't done blind fighting training much, so just point me at some skeletons.
And can we do some perception rolls from this high cliff to see if we can see anything either back where they came or going forward or down the cliff that is a clue?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Make some perception rolls or investigation,
will
whichever's better. But
not
don't
be
forget
making
that you
those.
have disadvantage.
Investigation with disadvantage.
That is the most. I rolled for the professor. I
Nope.
rolled disadvantage.
Hey,
I rolled
Harry.
a 20 and a 1.
Oh
What a good
dear.
boy.
I rolled
Good
a
boy.
19 and a 4, so that's an 11. It's not nothing.
How's Fetid looking?
Let's see. 18 and a 20. So my low roll is an 18 for a change.
Okay, so
Not bad.
Fetid
Yeah.
notices that in the distance, the great distance, some of the rocky patches that have like more like dead growth and less living trees and stuff on them, you will see movement. There's stuff out there shambling around in the rocks.
Y'all, I see shambling.
But you will also notice up in the air above these mountains are various floating rocks. You'll notice a structure built onto the side. It's almost turned away from you, but you made such a great roll. You notice that there's somebody has built some kind of like a building or a structure, a simple structure on the side of one of those floating boulders.
Mhm.
Like these are huge boulders, like the size of a big building unto itself.
Yeah.
A large boulder the size of a small boulder.
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's a large boulder the size of a large boulder.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Well, how do y'all feel about heading towards one of those?
I can only make 3 of us fly at one time, but Ugna could carry me,
Yep.
and then you could fly. Tilth can already fly, and we could take one person. Maybe Magargamel can turn into a flyer, and then I could take Finster, Uncle Finster, with a fly.
You can make everybody fly. Like how many people can you make fly with one fly spell?
I think normally I can do 2, but I can juice it with blood magic and take 10 damage to make it 3.
Yes.
Right.
You have a talent that allows you to multitask. You can concentrate on 2 spells at once.
Oh.
So you could cast 2 fly
Double
spells.
Yeah. Okay.
Normally you use this to do fly and invisibility.
Yeah. Could can Magargamel turn into a flyer on her own?
No, but Magargamel can turn into something small.
Okay, because I think we could do the carrying solution, because Filth can
Yeah.
already fly. If Ugna, Finster, and Fetid get fly cast on them, I can be carried by Ugna. Tiny Magargamel can be carried by anyone, and then I think we're good to go.
Cool.
Yeah, the only thing you wouldn't be able to do then is bring the golems.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then I'll double cast. I'll double cast with Swolems.
It's okay. I can't
So you're
even see them
thinking of
anyway.
casting this. So the idea is you want to cast this on everybody and fly up
Yep.
to the structure. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
that's
I
worth
think.
checking out.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a little ways away. It's over top of like the next mountain. So you might want to get closer before you cast the fly spell
Yeah.
because it
Then we
has a
can,
duration.
yeah.
But at least we have a plan now.
But
yeah.
it gives you a direction.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so you choose that direction, and you start striking off in that area as normal because you have a ranger with you. You're finding the best paths. You're not having to go with super difficult terrain, and you're not going to get lost as you go in that way. But as you go along, you you come out into as you come down, it's all this, like as I was saying, areas where there's more dead than tree. And so it's like a little bit more barren ground, lots more like craggy rocks and open spaces. And you manage to spot, again, I'm just going to keep that crazy perception roll of Fetids. You manage to spot like some undead and like steer around them. And then later, some undead over there, you avoid them. But then at one point, this fails and you come to a little ravine. Where you can hear a bunch of undead nearby and they're coming your way and they're getting louder, but there's a drop and you can't get across it easily. And you're like, all right, we have to decide, are we going to stand and fight these undead? They're probably low-level shamblers. Or are we going to do some kind of trick to try and get across the little ravine? What do we want to do?
We're not in flying distance from the mountain yet.
You could, but it's a
How
bit of a ways you might
far?
not
How
make
big is
it
the
and have to
ravine?
stop.
Is it like?
Like it's like a crack in the earth here that has some shit growing down at the bottom of it. So it's probably like a good 20, 30 feet across. Like it's jumpable with difficulty, but it's jumpable.
I mean, it's jumpable by me, and a rope.
Well, you have magic jumping.
Yeah.
Although you will have disadvantage on the rolls
Yes,
to do the jumping.
correct.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, okay, Perni, how much do you trust me?
But I don't trust the moon.
Yeah, that's true. Can't trust the moon. I've heard. I think. Anyway, point me in the right direction. I'll jump.
Okay. I'm gonna point, and I mean, Fed is really the one who knows the directions, but I'll point anyway. And
Like
I'm
spin you around.
gonna secure a rope. I'm gonna secure a rope to you
Yep.
so that we can cross using the rope once you're done.
Yep.
Yep.
We can all hold
Living
this.
grappling hook.
I will
Yeah.
set you down. And Trey as well, just in case.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to just keep them on you.
And nope.
All right.
Sweet.
And then I will launch
Trey,
myself that way.
Athletics with disadvantage. Let's see how
Yep.
this goes.
Incredible.
Whew, boy, I'm gonna spend some inspirations on that.
Great. You love to hear that.
One
good.
inspiration, you can re-roll both, remember.
Yep, that's true.
So one inspiration, and then you re-roll with disadvantage.
That was hot garbage. Oh, that's much better. So that's a 12. My low roll is a 12, but I get a plus 11 on that. So that would be
Oh yeah,
23.
23. So you throw yourself across, and you land like easily on your feet on the other side. Like you don't even land like down like this, grasping.
Yep.
You just like land on the other edge. Like you even have to grab a tree because there's like not enough like foot space just to kind of hold on. And you're like, how'd I do?
Am I
simply
good?
love to see it.
Am I good?
Stuck the landing. Stuck the landing. I'm gonna secure the rope as best I can, but
Good.
gotta check my work because I'm not very good at using rope.
And then I'll like blindly take the rope off of me and tie it around this tree. Like, this
I
is
need a
good,
roll
right?
for that. You're
It's gonna-
tying blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Perni's gonna say, just hold it. Just hold it. It'll be better if you.
Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know how to do knots. I don't know
Okay,
what
so you've got
skill I would add to that,
got-
but it's not good enough.
Don't roll. So
No, just
Ugna's
holding it.
holding the rope tight, and it's tied at either end, and you're all going to climb across. Is the idea?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So go for it. Let's make those athletic rolls for the climbing. You get a bonus for having the rope. You're not just climbing on your own.
I need
Well,
to
not a
spend an
bonus, you have a-
inspiration.
Oh boy! Boy,
It's
your
not a bonus.
last
You just have a
one.
low DC.
Can I use acrobatics?
Yes, acrobatics is fine. Either one.
That's better. All right. That's 19.
Okay. Yeah, you scamper across easy.
That's a 3.
Oh no. I guess
No
you are kind of
inspiration
hand over
left.
handing it. You can't. You don't have legs.
Yeah. I will. I'll cast fly on anyone else who falls to the bottom with me, but I'll take my damage.
Manair Smurf is fine. So Copernicus is climbing across and loses his grip and falls.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
You
no.
don't take any damage because as you start to fall, Manair Smurf casts Featherfall on you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Because that's a spell that you can cast with a reaction. And you're within range. So you're just like a whoop, 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 whoop. And then you cast Fly on yourself to come up.
Yeah, but I'll wait till everyone else has gotten across in case anyone else falls.
Yeah,
I can cast
everybody
that.
else makes it.
Cool.
Even the golems can do it
Oh, nice.
because they don't have the curse really. So or the golems. While you were all doing this, the golems just clambered down the side, like precariously, some of the times tumbling, and then like have just sort of climbed up the other side awkwardly. So you fly up, and as you do so, you are up above like the group, and you see crashing through the trees on the other side of the ravine are a band of zombie-like creatures. You can't tell from this distance if they're ghouls or zombies because the difference is subtle physically. It's more about their power levels. But seeing that they can't, they're sniffing at the ground where you were, and unable to curve immediately cross, they start moving along the sides, like towards the one end of the ravine.
Okay.
Eventually, you imagine there might be a way across, but probably not for a while. And as that's happening, and they start to crash, you sort of like to hold still, and like don't attract their attention as they crash off in the distance. And while you're like listening to them disappear and going, okay, we're ready to do something again, a voice from one of the trees above you yells, "Hey, big dumb things! You are too loud."
I look around, but I can't see anything.
Do I have to make a perception roll here, or
no?
can
Because he's not hiding,
guy?
and if he was, you wouldn't be able to see him probably. But
Right.
out of Pass Without Trace appears a small creature. It appears to be a halfling, but he has gigantic pointy ears, like huge pointy ears that are almost bat-like.
Okay.
Otherwise, he looks like a halfling with black hair and almost fur-like mutton chops of hair coming down the sides of his face. And he's standing up high in the tree with like a spear on his back and a bow across the other way, wearing entirely like furs and hides. He looks extremely feral. He has actually a little bit pointy teeth, you see, as he yells too, which is different than most halflings. In fact, I'd give an Arcana check to Peter on this one.
Disadvantage. Friends.
History would be more appropriate, but
10
same
or
bonus.
11.
Doesn't matter.
Either way, it's a dirty 20, so.
Oh, either way, your low roll is a dirty 20.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you've heard of these. The wilds of the Western Territories house these wolf riding halflings that are frequently referred to as wolflings because they are rumored to have wolf's blood within them. They live in little groups they call holts. And their matriarchs are generally druids that will take on the animal form to ensure that a little bit of wolf blood stays in amongst their people. Because, if you're a druid and you get pregnant in wolf form and then you turn back to human form, or in this case, halfling form, you get a little of that wolf magic.
Magic.
Yeah, they
Is that what
are
they're calling it these days?
referred to derogatorily by some, but They're known to be basically wild halflings that like live amongst and with and ride on wolves. And the little halfling says, "This bad place. Too loud is bad. You
I
will
agree.
be eaten. Why are you so loud, big dumb things?"
Hey, I'm a small dumb thing.
Well, I can't see.
Big dumb things and small stink thing.
Fair.
Are you a friend? Are we friends?
I don't
Maybe?
know you. I not know you. You
I'm going to try some
Just-
diplomacy in the
attempt some
absence
diplomacy.
of comment.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say none.
Menair Smurf will aid you on this, for sure.
Okay. What do
She
I have
will
for diplomacy?
like do some like she'll do that that Maggie Smith placating voice,
Good.
Yeah.
like the dowager voice, and come in and be like, yes, we're friends."
Yeah. I'm gonna
So
say
go ahead and make that without disadvantage.
Okay, and I will roleplay this.
Yeah.
Without disadvantage. Okay.
A persuasion.
How close are we to? Okay, no, we're not going to pop over inspiration. Can I take your last point of inspiration?
Ooh, is that enough? Can
Oh no, wait, it needs to be two. It needs to be two.
Can I bump them up?
Oh, you guys are so close to getting another inspiration too.
I'm gonna roleplay it for a bit, and then we'll see if any inspiration comes in.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
I rolled a 2. Natural
no.
2. Plus
Oh,
that's 9.
That's a 9
Yeah.
without inspiration.
Oh, Mary,
Um,
are you okay, bud? You fell off. Come on, Mary.
So
Good boy.
for now, I'm gonna RP this, but I'm gonna say some of the biggest and loudest and dumbest things you can imagine took our younglings, and I believe I know that the young are sacred to you as they are to us. When someone takes your young, you chase them down and you bite until you draw blood, and that's what we are doing. And I think we need your help.
Is anyone else saying anything to add to
I've just
that?
lost my
What he
nugget,
said.
so this is Perni is he's tapping some real emotions to get in character for this.
Can
He's lost his own grand nugget in this chase.
I'll get in on this. I've still got disadvantage, right?
What are you trying to do?
Just help him out and be like, yeah. I mean, we don't want to hurt you, little guy. Like, we're
Just role play. You don't need
Yeah.
to.
Cool.
So what are you saying?
Look, we don't want to hurt you, and we don't want to like upset anything in this woods. We're just trying to get the kids back. I'd be your friend if that's why I was asking.
Peter,
Ooh,
make
that
me
seems to be.
another history check,
We get some inspirations. Thank
but
you,
with
Meta.
your disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, you just got pushed over the lion.
Heck yeah. Tromlin's gonna come
Well
back to
done,
have some
folks.
inspiration.
Wait, I'm going to immediately spend it.
Oh, that's a hero point. That's not
Oh, did you
inspiration.
roll bad on your history?
No, not yet. Okay, so let me roll my
Your
history.
history and see.
History's at disadvantage, right? But I have my plus 10.
Yeah.
Hey, low roll 23.
Nice. Okay. So you know a bit, like you're thinking about what you know about these people. They're wild and they live entirely like their society is basically mostly like druids and rangers and that sort of thing. They do trade. They trade in like furs and stuff to other groups because they don't make metals. They're semi-nomadic. They do hide work and wood and things like that, but that's it. So they're actually someone you could try and buy off. Like you could try and you have stuff like knives that might be of interest or value to him. So you could attempt to sweeten the pot.
Well, speaking of, I don't think they've ever in their lives had candy before. And I've been
Probably not. Oh my goodness, you found a use for your hard candies.
Good.
Okay, this is
Perfect.
a special something. It's called sweet gold. It's as good as the metal coins they use in the city, except you can eat it. and it tastes like 100 of the sweetest fruit you've ever had, and you can enjoy it for up to 2 hours, just sucking away on it. I'm going to give you one to try. This is a freebie. I'm going to reach up and I'm very short, obviously. And
He will sort of like recoil a bit, but you can throw it to him.
I'll throw it to him, and I'll eat one as proof of like,
Yep.
it's good.
He snaps out of the air. He sniffs this, and then he tries to put the whole thing, wrapper and all, in his mouth. And then you have to like tell him, no, it's inside a little skin. And then he takes it off,
Let's skin it first.
sniffs it again, licks it. His eyes go big, and then he puts it in his mouth. This good fruit. This good fruit is hard and dry. Good for long ride on trail.
Yeah.
You have
That's all I
more?
have.
You have more?
I have. I'll pour out another fistful.
This is good. I will help you, big dumb thing. Come.
All right, I'll hand over a fistful of candy.
You want big group that come through here?
We need to find them, and quickly.
Good. I have seen them. I will take you.
How do they look? Are they okay?
They look like big dumb things.
Well,
He has
They're
a
big and
fetid
dumb
view-
and loud.
A very fetid view of the world.
Come, big dumb things and small stink thing. I will take you.
Ooh, you're a guest of honor.
And with that, he turns and gives a little howl, and then like jumps down through the trees, and a big black wolf comes out of the. You see it come down the hillside. Big black wolf with yellow eyes, and he swings down onto its back, and offers to lead you. And I think this is a good place to end a little early. Because in case the audience hasn't noticed, Jeff is highly jet lagged.
yeah.
And is not going to make it if we don't.
Just before we end, I'm gonna ask this little dude if he's seen a. Have you seen a goat man anywhere? He's real pretty.
No,
He smells like
there
sugar.
are goats. There are goats up there, and he points up at the higher mountains.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
No goat man,
And then we'll close out with Una
only
just being
regular
like,
goats.
Tromlin, really deep under her breath.
Do you ask him his name, by the way, or anything else about him?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
He will tell you, I am Far Hunter for my tribe. I am Garm Sharpthorn.
Nice to meet you.
Now, you come, big dumb things,
Let's
but
go.
you be less big and dumb.
I don't know
And
if I
he-
can.
And
Wow.
he casts pass without trace on you guys.
This is literally the smallest I've ever been.
And yeah, we'll leave it there so that Jeff can like get some sleep.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll have an early wrap up.
Cool.
Been a long day.
Disadvantage from exhaustion rules.
Mhm.
This is as far as I absolutely needed to get things. So I
Sweet.
hope audience, I hope you had some fun. You have thoroughly cursed this party. This is going to be
cursed.
very interesting.
So cursed.
So cursed.
Oh God, Tromlin, what's gonna happen to you, sir?
And I fully expect, Alina, for you to draw a happy slime.
Oh hell yeah!
I completely
I want to draw a happy slime on his head.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
bang out one
Good.
of your happy slimes just off the like immediate. I think you've actually drawn them on the opening of the show, isn't it?
Yup.
Aren't there?
Let me see if I can.
Are you going to do it without looking?
I do want to clarify that banging out a happy slime is a euphemism for something else.
That's true.
Oh no.
Can't go on stream.
Alina is going to draw the happy slime. Little cheerful ooze.
I'm gonna Fred Penner this shit.
Hey, everybody. It's Art Corner. I don't
There we
remember what we used
go.
to call it.
Gotta present to camera.
Up a little
Boom.
higher.
Yay!
You're partly behind your Ugna.
Oh,
There we go. A happy slime.
a little happy slime guy.
Perfect.
Yay, everybody. All right, everybody. So let's have our final shout outs.
Oh,
I
heck,
give
I
my
gotta-
usual shout out. Thanks a ton to my shadow DM, Dan,
1 second.
for all of his assistance. We will, in fact, be rolling for a sketch, but I need Alina to pull up the numbers first.
I need to.
Uh,
That's what
In
I
the
am
meantime, has anybody got anything to shout out? I'll start by just saying that Alina and Peter will both be at Emerald City Comic Con next week. So if you're in the Seattle area,
Yeah.
come and buy some merch, get some sketches from some artists, support your local
Well,
artists.
We're on the Sky Bridge, but on the opposite side from our usual spot.
Yep.
But still on the Sky Bridge, which is really hard to like
It's hard to miss us.
miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lane. We're down to a D10 this week. If you want to
Oh, a
roll that.
D10.
Yep.
We're low on subscribers, everybody. I don't know if anybody's going to resubscribe anytime soon, but this is a good time. Number 1,
Number 1,
the top of the list.
Kaitu.
Hi 2.
Yeah.
It is you. Kaitu, I choose you. Get in my Pokeball. That
Excellent.
sounds dirty. I don't know. I don't know why that sounded so awful.
Get in
but
my Pokeball and get a happy slime.
yeah, gotta get them all. Yeah,
No, wait a minute. No, that's
I don't
Not good
like
either.
this. I don't like any of this. Yeah. Anybody else have any final shout outs?
Ba-ba-ba.
No? I'd like to shout out getting enough sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Shout
think
out sleep.
we are all exhausted from travel and shenanigans. Next game will be the week after Emerald City Comic Con on the 26th.
Heck
Will be the next
yes.
game, which is the day before my birthday.
Yeah,
So
DM birthday.
happy birthday to me. I'm not quite gonna turn to dust, but I'll be pretty damn close.
Well, if
All
we
right.
do, we all get cursed out here.
And that's it.
Alrighty.
We'll see y'all next time
Thanks for
some
watching,
more
everybody.
steamy trash.
Bye.
No.
Yeah.